Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a hardware video for you. Today, of course, the Sega Dreamcast, my favorite console of all time. And today we are looking at some accessories for it that I happen to own. There will be original stuff by Sega among the items, but also some things of third party. Yeah, I will only focus on the external stuff for the Dreamcast today. Uh, I will do a separate video for the internal changes I made to the Dreamcast. So yeah, let's just start. Okay, guys, let's start with some stuff. Maybe let's start. I need to do several takes for this video, by the way. I show you guys the first couple of items, and then I need to make a little space and show you then to the rest. Let's start with the controller. I'm not going into too detail about it. I'm sure you all know about this stuff. Back in the day when this was new, a lot of people didn't like this controller. I think it's a very good controller. I think uh, a little bit unfortunate that there are so many great fighting games on the Dreamcast, and the Dreamcast only has 4 face buttons here. 6 would be very awesome. So usually the triggers are buttons in fighting games too, like Street Fighter, and that's not very accurate. So this is a little downside. One other negative thing I think is that the D-pad and also the analog stick are made out of a very hard and sharp plastic. But of course, over the years, it gets a little softer. But all in all, I think this is a really comfortable controller to hold. Back in the day, my friends actually didn't like that the cord comes out of the bottom. I didn't care. I didn't care at all. Uh, there is this little space here where you can put in the cable like so, so it goes out on top. But I didn't use it back then, and I don't use it now. I don't know why my friends didn't like that. I don't care at all. And of course, on top you have the 2 slots for memory cards or the rumble packs. It's not a perfect controller, but I think it's also a very comfortable and efficient controller to use. Then the next thing is another controller. This one actually came out way after the Dreamcast's life cycle. It's by Retro Fighters. It has, of course, for the memory cards a slot, and actually they made this, I guess, for fighting games because it's from the company Retro Fighters. But there are still only 4 face button. It's a really not a cheap controller. It feels really sturdy and comfortable, but the D-pad is actually not great. So for a fighting controller, I don't know, guys. Uh, I And on the another advantage this controller has, yeah, it has a turbo function and you can save some button commands, but those things actually are never used, so I can't tell you much about that. But on top, you have L and R triggers like on the original controller, but you also have buttons, which is nice for fighting games, for example. The only thing I think is if you make a controller specifically for fighting games, why not have 6 face buttons instead of having extra buttons up here? It's a nice controller, but it's actually not for me, guys. I prefer to use the original controller. It's not bad at all, don't misunderstand me, but it's just not my kind of thing. The one nice thing is that it has extra long cord. That's always nice. For the original Dreamcast controller, if you need a longer cord, you can buy a longer cord. Nothing special to say. It's just a controller extension cable for the controller. I have two of those. Then let's continue with the VMU. Everybody knows this, the original Dreamcast VMU. There is actually a modern VMU coming out. I think one is already out and another one is coming out soon. But those unfortunately are very expensive. I have several VMUs, never really used them much, just as memory cards, of course, but not for the mini games and stuff or to transfer saves. Actually, did not use that at all. And the main reason for that, as you all might know, is the abysmal battery life of this thing. It has the kind of watch batteries, and if you do even care and put new batteries in there, they are empty in 4 hours or so. It's really a shame. I think Sega was really ahead of the time with this thing, especially with the display, but not for the little VMU games, but with the use with the controller. Uh, like in some games you have information displayed here, like in Resident Evil you can see your life here and you don't have to click into the menu. That's really a nice use for this screen. Really ahead of its time, and I really like it. Then we have next thing, another memory card, the Sunflex memory card. Nothing special. It has no screen and it has a little button on the side. Can you see that? Yeah, it's clicky. And it's basically just 5 memory cards in one. Uh, and with the click of the button, you switch between the memory cards. So I usually keep this in the second slot because of the controller. Because in the first slot, I want to have the VMU with the screen, but in the back slot, it doesn't care. I don't like playing with the Rumble Pack anyway, so this can stay in the second controller slot. Speaking of Rumble Packs, I only have actually one and not the original one by Sega. I just have the Mad Catz one. Yeah, it's a Rumble Pack. It rumbles. For the younger audiences out there, did you know your controllers didn't always automatically vibrate? You have to buy a separate Rumble Pack like this one and insert it into the controller like that, and then the controller vibrates. And this Rumble Pack has this extra feature with this red light on top. It just is a little gimmick. Yeah. Now we come to a little more obscure stuff. Here we have the Action Replay CDX, and it is also shaped and has the slots for the ports for the controller, the second slot. You can put it in here, and it has basically a small memory card built inside, and on this memory card is the cheat data you need. But you also need a CD. You need to put a CD in the Dreamcast. If I remember correctly, it didn't use this in like forever. And yeah, then you can use cheats. And that's it, I think. Yeah. You have to really be careful. Actually, in the menu for the Dreamcast memory card, this also shows up as a memory card. And if you delete the files that are on here, you can actually do that. If you delete or overwrite the files that are on here, then this thing doesn't work anymore, if I remember correctly. But yeah, and there is one more strange thing about this thing. You might the younger audience might not even recognize this. This is a VHS tape, and you can see Action Replay CDX printed on there. This is actually the manual. This thing came with no paper manual. The manual is on a VHS tape. That's really something else. It says tutorial video. This is just how to use this thing. Awesome. I don't even have the option to play this thing anymore, but I just keep it because it's such an obscure piece. Yeah, and the last thing before I have to make a little cut here is this thing. It just says, can you guys read that? I don't think so. It says Dream Shell on it here. I bought this a long, long time ago. What this is actually you can plug this in the back of your Dreamcast, and on the other side you can plug an SD card in, and then with a special disk, you can have some sort of operating system for the Dreamcast, like Windows or Linux or something like that. So you have icons, and you can create text files and folders, and you have different programs. But to be honest, guys, I didn't use this in like have to be over 10 years. So I actually have no idea how advanced the software had become. I barely used it back then, and nowadays you have the options with to put an ODE in your Dreamcast. So basically, this is doesn't have much purpose anymore. It's just for curiosity. And one more thing that's curious. That's Here is my Dreamcast. This is the only thing I know that connects to the Dreamcast serial port. Like so, looks a little strange. It's the only device I know that goes in there. Yeah, but if you're interested, as I said, my information is way outdated. If you're interested in this stuff, look it up online. And yeah, guys, now I have to make a little cut, put all the things I showed you away, and then we continue with some more stuff. Okay, guys, I'm back with the more bulky and big stuff. And let's start with the Dreamcast mouse. Just a tank control mouse, nice and clicky with a wheel and an extra button on the side. Uh, it's an old mouse, of course, with a trackball and not with a laser. And it's not absolutely necessary for games like Quake or Unreal Tournament or Soldier of Fortune, but it is a way nicer to play those games with keyboard and mouse than with the controller. So nothing more to say about that. I hardly if I play Soldier of Fortune, for example, I always use this method actually, but I don't play it that often. Then, of course, the next thing is, as I just said, for the shooters like Soldier of Fortune, the keyboard doesn't even fit on the screen. It's just basic keyboard, says Dreamcast on it. It's of course an old keyboard with the big buttons and stuff, numeric keypad. Yeah, it's just a keyboard, and it has of course clicks. So if you want to have it at a different altitude, here you can see the Sega label. Yeah, back in the day, actually, keyboard and mouse was useful not just for the first-person shooter kind of games, but also it was very useful if you used the internet regularly on your Dreamcast for typing and stuff. It was way more efficient than to use the software keyboard that was built in the passport disk. Yeah, next thing. Oh, this is heavy, and it's good that it's heavy. It's the official arcade stick. It's this actually has a really nice build quality. The arcade sticks for the Genesis or Mega Drive, for the Super Nintendo, for for me, they always are too light, too small and too light. So this one is really heavy. It has a nice metal base. It's also quite heavy, and it has a nice micro switch joystick, 6 buttons and the start button up here. for your arcade shooters or your fighting games. This is an awesome, actually an awesome, really really nice arcade stick. It of course has a slot as well for the VMU that goes in here. Just one slot, but one slot is enough. Of course, you can't put a rumble pack or something in this slot. This is specifically for the VMU. Yeah, very nice, very nice. I should actually use this more often. I'm a guy who actually prefers playing with the original controller, but in some cases, actually, using this would be nice. Maybe I should do that in the future. Now we have some light guns. First one is the original light gun by Sega. You guys in the US didn't get this thing because I think when this came out 1 month or so before it, the incident at Columbine High School, if I remember correctly, happened. So um, when I remember the history correct, then they decided not to release the thing in the US, but we got it. It's just still works, has a nice weight to it, but not too heavy trigger. And it has back here for the menus and stuff a D-pad and two buttons. Yeah, this light gun, it has also a slot for the VMU, of course. This light gun is not as exact as a the Thrustmaster, for example, by Sega, but it is actually quite accurate. It's not perfect, but it's really good, really really good. Yeah, of course, this is an old school light gun. Of course, this means it will only work on will work not work on flat screen TVs at all. It works just on tube TVs, and the tube TVs just I think what's the max? I think on 100 hertz tube TVs it won't it will work, but the bullets will just scatter all over the place. You have to have a tube TV and 60 hertz max for this to work. Unfortunately, I don't anymore, so this actually is just a I can't use it anymore. But I'll keep to it. Yeah, as a memory. I had great times with this light gun. Then, of course, my friends came over and wanted to play light gun shooter as well back in the day. So I bought a second light gun. Wow, this has really yellowed a little bit. And this is the Starfire by Interact. Can you see it? Looks a little weird at first, but it actually also has a nice click. And if you want to, you can reload here. So you shoot, reload. But I always found it more efficient to just, reload the normal way, shooting outside of the screen. It has a D-pad on this side, two buttons, slot for the VMU, of course, and it has a switch here, a slide switch, and this says this is for the reload option. So it has auto reload and auto fire and some other options. The the writing has almost vanished, so I can't read it. But it's basically different reload options, auto fire and reload options. From the accuracy, it is almost as good as the original one by Sega, but not perfect either. And like the other one, of course, I can't use this thing anymore, unfortunately. And now I have a third light gun. This might be the coolest item, but unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. It is, well, the Desert Eagle light gun. In the box, there you can see it. Desert Eagle light gun in the box. Let's open it up. And inside we have, wow, this thing is really heavy compared to the other light guns. We have this thing. It had also a D-pad on this side. It has start button. It has a slider here for different auto fire and auto reload options. It has a button down here where you hold it. I guess you can set this button for reload and yeah, trigger here. So this is actually looks really cool. It's really heavy, but it's unfortunately it is broken. The trigger at some point broke from heavy shooting and firing. Oh, by the way, it has two buttons here as well. And the screws are so badly damaged that I can't open this thing up and try to fix it. So that's really unfortunate. And there is one more feature this thing has, one awesome feature. Maybe you can see it. It has a slider. It has a second port down here, and you can plug it into the wall. And then this has a kickback function. I don't know if you actually can still buy this thing, but it looks awesome. But yeah, I guess it's no, it's broken, as I said, but I don't care anymore because I don't have a TV anyway where I still can use it. So who cares? It's a nice collector's piece. Now put it back into the box. Okay, and I think we're down to the last item. The last item I have for the Dreamcast, and it's a big one. How do I show that even on camera? Wow, it's maybe so. The Samba de Amigo Matt and Maracas in the box. Wow, this thing is really dusty. And let's see, I open it up, but I don't know how well I can catch this on camera. Okay, I won't actually unwrap this. You can see it here. It's official Dreamcast product. This is the mat you put on the floor, and it also has ports on it here and here where you plug in the maracas, and the maracas are here. Can you hear that? Don't know. Maracas have a button on them as well for the menus and stuff, and they actually work pretty well for motion control things. I actually don't like motion controls at all, but I love this game actually. Maybe one day I will embarrass myself and play that on, make a video, me playing this thing. Wow, this is really dusty. But yeah, this is works awesome. It's a lot of fun to play Samba de Amigo with that. There is one thing I should address though, the price. If you look it up nowadays, this thing cost you, I think, 200 bucks, 200 euros or something like that, or even more. You have to be careful because there is third-party maracas out there. I don't know which company they made back then. These are the original Sega ones. You can see the Dreamcast logo. But there are also the third-party maracas out there, and they actually are way worse. They don't work exactly, and they usually are expensive as well, and a little bit cheaper than this one, but expensive as well. So if you plan on getting some maracas, get the original ones by Sega. As I said, the unfortunate thing is they cost about 200 bucks. I actually was maybe 10 years ago, I don't know. I was very, very lucky because on a portal here where I live online, something similar to eBay, I found this and I bought this from a guy, and he charged me 20 bucks for it. It really was an awesome deal I made there. Yeah, that's all the Dreamcast stuff I have, and all I have to say about this. Thanks. So this is where the video will end. Okay, guys, this was all the hardware things, the accessories I have for my Sega Dreamcast. You might wonder. Yes, I don't have a racing wheel, and I don't have the fishing controller. But actually, I plan on getting both soon, just for collectors' reasons. Uh, yeah, and as I said, I did some internal changes to my Dreamcast too. I will cover those in a different video. But I just wanted to show the stuff off and talk a little bit about it, what I liked about the guns and arcade sticks and VMUs and stuff, and what I didn't like about it. I hope it was interesting for you. Please leave me a comment down below. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.